When President Goodluck Jonathan set up the Femi Okurounmu-led committee late last year to work out the modalities for a national conference to restructure the country's political system, the idea was greeted with enthusiasm by many Nigerians who have been yearning for a return to true federalism, to harvest the country's abundant human and natural resources. Most of us who welcome the idea of the national conference are not too happy with the modalities rolled out. Take, for instance, on the issue of no-go area. Are we saying that if at a conference, the people elected or selected, they are refused to agree on the restructuring of Nigeria for efficiency, which is the main issue for the conference anyway, can we not call it quit at that time, at that point? The killings, the lootings, the misgovernance, the injustice, the provocations, the riggings, the robbery, the suffering all over again are what will continue if we fail to take a practical step to restructure Nigeria properly. Gone are the days when parents impose marriages on the ground that they know what is good for us. In this modern time, such archaic practices have no place in our system. Modern marriages are by mutual consent. So also is a marriage of ethnic nationalities. In 1914, their consents were neither sought nor given. And I'm saying, even for symbolism's sake, in 2014, that consent must be thoroughly sought and wholeheartedly given for our continued stay. Make no mistake about this. If this consent is not sought and given freely, our attempt to determine the terms and conditions for our staying together will certainly hit the rock. Ethnic nationalities in Nigeria never came together to agree to stay together under one entity. And that the proposed national conference would, I am saying, provide a golden opportunity for them to agree to stay together. I'm not very sure that if given the chance, that any tribe would want to opt out of the union. Rather, it would have been an opportunity provided for us to really reassess our relationship and chart a way forward on current realities. What President Jonathan's administration has succeeded in doing with the idea of no-go area is just postponing the doomsday. Nigeria presently is sitting on a keg of gunpowder as it approaches 2015. All the geopolitical zones are threatening fire and brimstone if they are not allowed to produce the president in 2015. We dare not go into that election without first and foremost resolving several of those issues that tends to pull us apart. There is so much bottled up anger. There is so much bottled up anger. There is the anger of the deprived majority, and there is the anger of the few elites who feel cheated in the current system. The present conference must have two main attributes: adopting a new constitution, embodying a renegotiated terms and conditions on which the diverse ethnic groups comprised in Nigeria can live together in peace, security, progress, prosperity, general well-being, and unity as one country. Then secondly, the conference should be one of ethnic nationalities that make up the Nigerian state. If it is true that Okurounmu-led committee recommended a conference whose deliberation would only be integrated into the existing 1999 Constitution by the National Assembly, then the committee has set out to ensure the failure of the conference from the beginning. The committee has deliberately created a recipe for the disaster by not properly spelling out even the objective of the conference in the first place. The conference objective should have been spelled out through an act of the National Assembly, an enabling law, spelling out the modalities, the issues to be talked about, and what to do with the outcome of the talk would have been a preferred route. When you have considered a national conference and state that the conferees will determine the outcome of the deliberations, you have willingly created a recipe for disaster. Such obstacles appear deliberate by this government. I'm ready to be proven wrong. The fact that 75% of the delegates must agree on an issue before it can be ratified suggests that the government does not want them to arrive at a consensus on critical issues. They decided to set the consensus parameter at 75%. That is 3/4 of the delegates. They're saying that they must approve any issue before it is taken. This is very high and may remain unattainable. It is important to note that the majority of the conferees will be appointed by the executives. That alone is a retrogression. The consequences is that there will be a triumph of the minority in all the issues. It is dubbed the reign of terror of the minority. Two-thirds majority is the accepted and known standard internationally on matters like this. Why three-quarter? You may ask. A boo-boo trap.